that is this thing called real estate. And so we've looked at a number of things. Last month lesson, I don't know how many of them did their homework. I'm gonna ask them off camera, but we talked about, we were talking about the formula for having success in real estate is three things. Is how do you find deals? Because that's the most important thing, in particular in the sort of crazy market that we're in right now. You know, you have to have a lot of different ways to find deals. Then number two, how do you fund the deal? So first F is find. The second F is fund. And then the M is monetize. So I call it the FFM formula. So my monetize means, what's my exit strategy? So am I going to fix and flip this property, or am I going to buy and hold it? Some people wholesale, which is another topic, but those are the two main ways that people do. Either they're going to fix and flip it for profit, or they're going to buy and hold it and keep it for rental property. And so we're talking about all those different type of things. And so as I just said, the second F is funding. And so I have a guest tonight, Julio Evangelista. And so he's going to talk to us about funding. There are a number of people, Julio, who couldn't make it tonight, but they are there watching. Yeah, that, so you can just go back and forth with those two cameras. And then unfortunately, you guys are not gonna be able to answer questions, but you can send them in to us, and we'll get them to Julio if we don't get them answered. So without further ado, will you guys give it up for Julio?
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Jenkins, for the invitation tonight. I've been looking forward for this.
For months.
For this. Yeah, for months and months and months. I've been looking forward for this opportunity to share with the community. I've really had a strong hold and want always to help in the community and share this information, how to get funding. Finding the property, to me, is probably the most important thing. Finding the property probably is the most difficult thing. Most people think that obviously getting the finance is difficult because one, depends what type of deals that you're actually going after. If you're going after wholesale, if you're going after properties that are foreclosed or short sale that need financing. In my experience, I've been experienced for 20 years in this industry. I've started working in the residential side. Now I moved for the past 12 years of my career working in the wholesale side, basically you're just working strictly with investors. Anybody here has worked before with hard money lending before? You raise your hand. Okay. So hard money lending is called, the term hard money lending, basically they say more as high interest rate. But hard money lending, they finance deals based not on your credit scores. It's all strictly on the property itself. So repeat it again. Hard money, it's basically the finance only strictly towards the asset. You can finance loans through hard money with 10% down. You can finance loan even with 100% finance on your deal, depending on the price point that you're getting your property. Normally, they don't look at your W-2s, they don't look at your tax return, they don't look at your personal debt, which basically they're going to look at the asset itself. Most of the finance that we do a lot of finance with a lot of 10% down payment, even with 15% down payment, and give you 100% of the construction cost of the project. We work with several deals in the project in the city that we have helped a lot of people finance through the city. I don't know. Mostly, they're looking at single-family homes, multi-family homes in this market. So we have a lot in Boston. We have more multi-families, and the multi-families obviously are high volume and also high prices in terms. But we look at those the same as a single-family, as a condo, or you can be as a vacation home. So whatever direction you want to go as an investor. We look at several projects outside of the States also. If you're an investor who like to invest in other areas, not necessarily Massachusetts, or you're looking to invest in other areas, we also can do finance in those areas too. Depending, all deals are done and funded through an LLC. Anybody know here what's an LLC? So most deals are funded with an LLC, and we can close loans within 2 weeks. So those are the things that we normally definitely can do. Any questions so far? Ranges in your experience. That's a good question. Ranges, what's your name? Anthony. Your question was, what is the interest rate that normally an investor will pay and borrower will pay? Normally, rates goes based on your experience. If you have experience, you can range it anywhere from 8% all the way to 12% interest only. The terms of the loan are normally 12 months. If you need an extension, they will extend it. But basically, they do it for short term. These are called short-term loans, are made specifically for fix, flip, or if you're going to fix, if you want to keep. Those are properties that you're going to basically, you're either going to flip it or you're going to keep it as a portfolio, bear portfolio. Any questions? I can hear you. I can hear you.
Shouldn't the loan depend on maybe just
Hmm?
down payment?
Okay, that's a good question. So for those, with the question he asked, based on loan, if the loan should be based on the loan LTC, which is basically loan to cost. So you're buying it, how much you're going to repair it. We look at that also. We look at loan to cost, but we also we pass as an investor, we pass the benefit if you find a good deal. So not necessarily, we don't have what is called you necessarily have to put down 10% or 50% or 20% or 30% down payment. We're gonna analyze every property individually.
So LTC isn't primary.
No, LTC is not the primary. No. So when a lot of people, they want to invest, obviously, they put it in very difficult sometimes. It makes it, because all we're going to look at again is the property. We're going to look at how much repairs. It's very important to know when you're looking to purchase a property, you need to know what is your upfront cost is going to cost you. Okay, before you get into doing any type of rehab or any type of project that you're looking to flip, you got to make sure the numbers work. Most investors fail is because they don't do the upfront, I call it homework, to make sure what your cost is going to be. In the same, our company, we don't dictate which general contractors you want to use. We pretty much give that information. You're responsible. You're the guarantor. We're lending the money to you, and you're responsible in making sure the money is being dispersed the right way and making sure you're controlling your own project also. Any other questions?
Do you work without contractors that you would recommend?
Do I have contractors that I recommend?
Do you work with?
I don't like to recommend contractors. That's for sure. Because obviously it makes me kind of reliable, you know. But there's a lot of good contractors out there that you can definitely, utilize. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Well, as an investor, right, you can, in hard money, you can focus. It depends what type of investor you want to be. If you want to be an investor who wants to build single families, multifamilies, portfolio, you want to get into the commercial, you can certainly get into the commercial end. And again, when it comes to as an investor, it's not the same as when you're purchasing your primary home. Banks look at that differently. They look at that, they look at more as what the property is going to be making, the asset is going to be making, and what are the costs, and what is the loan to value. Anybody here knows what loan to value is? Do you know? Loan to value? Okay, loan to value means what actually you're buying the property for and the percentage that you're borrowing from the lender. So most lenders, they lend at 75% when it comes to commercial. And some lenders lend 80% when it comes to purchasing any type of commercial loan. And if I was to say to you guys that you can buy foreclosed properties, most investors, a lot of investors, they utilize hard money. When they make offers, when you make offers, you see a lot of them cash offers. 90% of the time it's not cash. They're utilizing hard money. So because accessibility that we have to close a loan within 2 weeks, I have closed loans in 3 days from the time they have given me the information and we need to close on this date. And we're able to do that. So when it comes to hard money and you want to compete with this competitive market, and especially if you're buying a property that is an investment property, you should utilize hard money, because that's what's going to differentiate everything from you. Be competitive with other competitors in this market.
There's a question that somebody texted me.
Okay.
To Neva, she said, what other? I know the answer is, but I'm gonna let you answer. What other criteria are you guys looking for besides loan to value?
Property.
Exactly.
Property itself. The property itself is what's really good. We will lend you one day. You can start a company today, and we will lend you the money on that. And I'm going to go, after I speak about hard money, you can do the same thing, convert that property into more fixed rates, conventional rates, and it applies the same way. You can open a company tomorrow. They don't look at your tax return. They don't look at your W-2. It doesn't matter. What they're going to look at is the property itself. What's the value of the property? What's the condition of the property? And you'll be able to refinance and get into a fixed rate and maximize the equity of the property.
Right now, the question becomes, if and then this because what we're doing is shaping people's thinking, because most of the time we come to a lender from a traditional perspective, but when we look at them, as an investor, they're looking at the property. Now you do count your experience, and some look at credit, but for the most part, if you default, they take the property. If that makes sense to you. And so you have to really shift your thinking when it comes to you being an investor, because they're really looking at your experience. They're also looking at the property. So if you default or whatever reason, they get it. Now, obviously, they don't want the property. They make money off of lending money. That's the difference. But just as people are watching and as we're talking about, I think a lot of times people have that hard time going from retail to investor, because it's two totally different mindsets.
Two completely different mindset. You're able, like I said, to start building portfolio. Some of these programs that we have, besides hard money, you can within 6 months utilize the equity of the property and cash out 75% of the equity. So if you buy something for $100,000, it's worth $300,000. In 6 months, I will give you the value of the $300,000, as long as the rental income supports the loan. So basically, like you said, independence, freedom, right? I mean, you're working for yourself. You're able to refinance. You're able, since you control the project, we give you the construction money to use, so you're collecting your own money to manage your property. And then at the end, you can refinance and cash out 75% of the loan to value, which is tax-free money. And you can continue moving forward and building more portfolio. As long as opportunities are there.
But he just dropped a nugget on y'all.
Yeah.
He just dropped a nugget, and that's how you look at how people are able to exponentially grow their wealth is through. I always say this: getting your first property is life changing.
Correct.
I don't care whether it's. I think it's better if you do it as a multi, but even if you do it as a your own primary residence, if you know what to do as far as some things Julio was talking to us about, of being able to tap into the equity and then using that to buy assets, because this was all about. It's about he who has the most assets wins. Period. Now you define what winning is for you, but what we're talking about tonight is how do you begin to think about that? And so we're talking about LLCs and limited liability companies, and so it's very easy to set those up. And I got like 4 or 5 of them of different things that I have going on. And so they're very simple to set up, but what it also allows you to do, be able to, I think we're talking to Vanessa about the importance of you being able to not take things in your own name because you're liable for things. And so that allows you to do that, but it also, makes you a business owner. And so, something that Julio was talking to us about, it's once you wrap your mind around it and grab an understanding of it and you do it once, you're off to the races.
So the most difficult thing, finding the property. Finding the money is not so difficult anymore. There's a lot of money accessibility. Some other lenders, there's a lot of lenders out there. There's a lot of competition. But some other lenders are more lenient than others. We happen to be, I think, we're very aggressive when it comes to down payment. We understand this market very well. So we lend a lot of business that we do here is in Massachusetts. So we don't per se have a set fee or what down payment you have to pay, because we're going to look at the deals as an investor ourselves. So when we lend, you're partners with us. We put our funds and you put your funds, and we make sure that we're successful. Any other questions? Experience will be based on how many rehabs you've done, how many flips you've done, or how many properties you have taken from fixing it and make it stable into a conventional loan. And I want to, wholesaling does not qualify. So wholesaling meaning that you obtain a property under agreement and you're selling that contract to another investor for a profit. That doesn't qualify for experience. But if you have purchased it and you're closed and now you have fixed it and then you put into a performer, you sold it, then that qualifies you as an experienced investor.
Okay, what if someone doesn't have any experience?
That's fine. That's fine.
Is it
That's
a higher
fine.
interest rate?
If you don't have any experience, they will charge you, which is our interest rate is 12%, interest only. Hard money lender, they normally charge, it's only interest only. And we don't have any prepay. So it's a 1-year term, meaning you can buy today, you fix the property tomorrow, and you sell it, you just pay what you borrow. You do want to have someone with experience walk you through, right? Because you want to make sure, since you're going to create an investment, you want to make sure that you hire the right team with you, making sure that because you're responsible of that asset. Any other questions? Typically, when you're doing a hard money loan, that's the reason why it's a short-term loan. you don't want to stay in that loan longer than 6 months, right? Because you're buying this properties because one, A, it's not financeable through the bank. So B, you want to fix it. Either you want to refinance it to keep it as a portfolio, or you're going to sell it. So the longer you stay with this portfolio, with this interest rate of 12%, let's say a whole year, it's eating away your equity of your property. So you want to make that property as quick as possible to perform.
And I'll jump in on that because we did 2 projects during the pandemic. And our term was a year. One we had to go over because they weren't letting anybody come in the houses, so we couldn't get as much done as we want to. But once we did get out of that, we end up going from a hard money loan to a more traditional principal and interest loan that our tenants are paying. So it's all on strategy. So we're talking concept today, but what Julio is talking to us about, and we'll continue to talk about as we're going down the line, is hard money is a 12-month thing where I'm looking to get the project done. I'm looking, you guys watch HGTV where they say, hey, it was ugly, now it's this. Most of the time, some of the guys are using hard money to do that. And so what they're doing is they're fixing it up, and then they're either fixing and flipping, or they're keeping it in their portfolio. And so they'll go to their local bank, or maybe they have a relationship with someone like Julio who does both sides, because he can do not only hard money, but he can also do traditional. And so he can be a partner long-term with you because he can take you from the hard to a traditional where it's a 15 or 30, whatever it may be. And then, you'll be off to the races. So.
Yes. So again, hard money, it's basically, we lend against the asset. We don't look at your credit scores. We don't look at your W-2s. Your personal debt ratio does not matter because you will never be asked for that. We're going to look at the project. You're going to present me the project. You're going to say, okay, here's the property. I'm looking to spend $200,000 for rehab, and we're acquiring the property for $200,000, and we're going to say, okay, we feel comfortable with this 15% down payment. I'll give you a true property in my head. Good example. The house was burned, and I was talking to my investor as I was driving here. He just bought the property for $365. It's a 2-family in Dorchester. $365. That's a good price.
Nice.
That's a good price.
That's cheap. Hold on, that ain't a good price. That's cheap.
Yeah. And he's gonna spend $250,000 for rehab. So after it's said and done, I don't know what the property will be valued, but I'm assuming it's gonna be somewhere around $900,000. So he's gonna put down with us 15% down payment on that, and we will give him the construction money.
So is he going to condoize that, or is he going to keep it for what you call it?
I don't know which direction he's going to go yet.
Right.
No, but he has options. So your options, when you have that much leverage in terms of loan to value in what you bought it for, then obviously, one, A, he can sell. B, he can refinance and capitalize on the equity of the property and keep it as a rental income, or he can sell it.
Now it's 15% on the acquisition and the rehab.
No, we just asked for 15% only of the acquisition. Yeah. We don't ask for 50% on the rehab.
Yeah, that was a combination.
Yeah.
This is an example. 15.
Yeah. We're pretty aggressive. We're very aggressive when it comes to that, in terms of the down payment in this area. So, and we work fast. This hard money is pretty much common sense underwriting. So that's how we're going to look at it. We're going to look at loan to value, how much you're going to pay, how much you can sell. Okay, there's no loss for you. There's no loss for us either. Okay.
I think, Julio, one of the things that hard money, the one advantage, like you keep saying, is the speed of it. All of us many of us have gone through a traditional mortgage process, and it's taken how long? 60 days, 90 days, depending on underwriting, whatever you got to get done. And so, in this market, you don't have time to wait 60 days and 90 days. You got to move. You got to put an offer like tonight and get it moving. And so the benefit of doing hard money is that it moves very quickly. And most of the time, the people who are doing it, if there's someone like Julio, they're business minded, so they can think with you and help you strategize your best exit strategy. So you're talking to the gentleman, he purchased something in the city for $365, which is phenomenal. And then now you got options, because on the other end, it's going to be worth low end $850,000, $900,000. So you got it for $365. You just say you put $200 in, so that's that's $565. And so I got $200,000-$300,000 worth of equity right there. So we're talking about building wealth, and so that's how you're able to do that very quickly, because you're able to get two or three of these in your portfolio and keep it moving.
I said you only need 5.
Yeah.
So I always say you only need 5 in this market here. You're set. Yeah. I think that's pretty much taps it off in terms of hard money. Hard money is very, common sense underwriting. We've been, like I said, we've been in the industry. I've been in the industry for 20 years. The company that I work for, been here for combined, I would say 40 years. They have a lot of experience in the city. They understand a lot of Massachusetts growth. And I'm here to help. I'm here to help anybody who needs, any questions that you have in terms of real estate. I can certainly, give you what I know. I did. I certainly did. So I have an Instagram, Apex Capital Boston. You can look me up there.
You on LinkedIn at all, Julio?
Not in LinkedIn.
You got to get on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Man. LinkedIn.
Not in LinkedIn. Yeah.
Wait, Instagram.
And you can email me.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell everybody your email.
My email is J Evangelista at apexcapital.boston.
Say that one more time.
J Evangelista, EVANGELISTA at apexcapital.boston.
Does the home have to be looking for does it have to or could you get property?
So that will be a different type of loan. So if you're looking to purchase, most of the time, I will say 95% of the time, you want to get a hard money loan. It's because the home is disrepaired. It's not financeable. If you're looking to buy a property that is a rental that is fixed, everything's running smoothly, and you have great rental income, then you better off just going with a conventional loan. Or if you feel, right, let's say, this is another example of one of my investors did this in Fall River. He wanted to buy, 9 units. And obviously, when a commercial, sometimes you got to put down 25, 30% down payment. So what he did, he negotiated a price because it needed some repairs in the property, a little bit of repairs, not the income was low because people were living there for more than 10 years in the same property. And the owner probably purchased that property probably 10 years ago a lot more than what is valued now. And obviously, for what he bought it for the income that he's collecting, he never cared about the market rent. So, but at the same time, now the seller was not able to sell the property at the market value because now you got to deal with all these tenants and raise the rents. So he was able to capitalize on that. He bought the properties with 10% down payment. We felt comfortable lending 10%. So now he has raised the rent on all of them. But he knocked down the property for almost like, I will say, even 15% what the market value is because of the rental income. So now he got it he put down 10%, 6 months from now. And this is a 2 properties in one parcel. So what he did, he subdivided the 2 parcels, right? And now he's going to convert the 6 unit into 3 unit at what the market value is right now in Fall River. So he purchased that same property for $680,000. The 6 unit right now in Fall River is probably like $600,000, I'm assuming. Yeah, around there. And then the 3 units probably like $450,000. So now he's going to be able to refinance both properties because he's increased the rent and get 75% of the cash out on those 2 properties of the market value in today's market. So yeah, you can utilize hard money if the property is fine. It depends what is your need for that property, what is the intention that you're trying to do, and take advantage because of the cash exit strategy. Yeah, you always have to have an exit strategy. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut the TV people off because we could talk. Yeah, give it up for Julio.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all out there, TVville. Hopefully, we got something out of our session today. We're talking with Julio, evangelista, impacts capital. He dropped a number of nuggets on us about real estate investing, but then also how to think like an investor when it comes to finance. So, if you have any questions, you can feel free to. Is it on? No, I hear me. Yeah, okay. So if you guys have any questions, make sure that you reach out to Julio. You can also send me you can send us an email here at send me an email at I give you dexterb@dominionrealestateholdings.com. You can send me an email there and we can get you any questions that you may have answered there. All right. Until next time, our next meeting, so you guys will know. You guys, we can answer any question you guys may have for a little bit. But for you guys, our next meeting, we're going to have Jeff Nelson. He will be coming to speak to us, and he is another lender, but he works more in that Rhode Island area. I know Julio do some stuff in Rhode Island. Actually, he lives in Rhode Island, don't you? Still live in Rhode Island? Yeah, he lives in Rhode Island. But we got a lender who's coming from Rhode Island, but he's also an investor. He just recently bought a 4-unit in Woonsocket, and so he's going to come talk to us about that. And so, and then the speaker after that will be talking about Starlene Ells will be coming in. She'll be talking about LLC formation and S corps and C corps and all that, because you want to. Part of what Julio was talking about, it's important that you use proper entities as you're investing. I always, this is just my personal opinion. I don't ever want to own anything in my own name, because you got what we call a sue happy society that we have right now. So somebody will trip on your property and try to take everything you got, and so you want to have proper entities to do that. And so Starlene Elves is going to talk to us about proper formation and things of that nature. It's Julio talked about it. You can get it done in about 2 days or so. It's a really real simple process to get. Yes. It's real simple to get done. And so, like I said, I have number 4 or 5 of them that I have for different properties and different things that we're doing. But it's really important that you have these entities, because one of the tips I'm teaching want all of us to know is that wealthy people use entities properly, and so you want to make sure that you're doing that. All right, so we'll see you guys next month. If you have any questions, like we said, let us know. Until next time, bye-bye. We good?